Hello Year 7s and welcome back to another Physics Corner with Miss Ellery. Now I know what you're thinking, I'm not wearing my physics hat. I actually don't have it with me, so you'll just have to imagine that I'm wearing it. Now I am very happy to have you with me for today's topic, which is a very special kind of simple machine called the wheel and axle. No, that's legendary Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose. I'm talking about the kind of axle that you put a wheel on. Thank you. The wheel and axle. Now today we will be learning about 3 common ways that you can use the wheel and axle, and what those 3 ways are best used for. First up is when the wheel moves around the axle. In this case, the wheel moves independently of the axle. The axle is simply there to keep the wheel in place while it moves. The axle does not move with the wheel. So what does this look like in real life? Well, this kind of wheel and axle is actually excellent for moving things from one point to another with minimal effort. And they actually figured this out way back in the ye olde times when they invented the cart that was pulled around by a horse or a donkey. The modern suitcase is really just a variation of the cart. So here I am with a suitcase. Yeah, hi Molly. Now, if this suitcase didn't have wheels, I would have to slide it along the ground, which as you can see is very difficult. The reason this is so difficult is because of the friction that is generated all the way along the surface of the suitcase and the ground. But what if we roll it? Yeah, there you go, Molly. So just, no, not like that. Molly, just, no, use the wheels, Molly. The wheels, you know, on the bottom of the suitcase. Yeah, there you go. So as you can see, now we're using the small amount of friction to our advantage. The friction allows the wheels to turn and we are sitting pretty. It's the same principle as walking, instead of sliding your feet along the ground, which generates way more friction and increases the effort you have to make to move. Now what's another example of a wheel that moves around its axle? Cool! Gnarly, bro! Cowabunga! So that's wheels that move independently of their axle. But what about wheels and axles that move together? There are tons of this type of wheel and axle in everyday life, and they're usually used for one of 2 purposes: to generate speed or to generate force. When we want to generate speed, the axle moves the wheel. Let's see how this works. So I've got my little model here of a wheel and axle that move together. So let's see how much speed I can generate when I'm turning it from the wheel. But what about when I'm turning it from the axle? So as you can see, when you're turning it from the axle, you can generate much more speed. And this is actually how a car works. So basically, via a bunch of very complicated mechanisms that I do not understand and cannot explain to you, the energy from the engine is used to turn the front driver axle, which connects the front 2 wheels, to turn them. This is how motorized vehicles can go way faster than a cart ever could, because the energy goes into moving the axle that then turns the wheels. So that's axles turning wheels. But what about wheels turning axles? What is that useful for? Well, when we use the wheel to turn an axle, that's perfect for generating force. An example of this is a doorknob. Inside the door, they look like this. So the part that you turn with your hand is the wheel, and the part inside the door is the axle. I have door handles instead of door knobs, but it works on the same principle. Some other examples of this are: there's taps, where you turn the handle, which is the wheel. Then there's screwdrivers, where, again, you turn the handle, which is the wheel. You might sense that there's a bit of a pattern going on here. And then we have steering wheels, of course. Now, imagine trying to turn any of these things with just an axle and no wheel. As you can see, you just can't generate enough force only turning the axle. So to summarize, we've got 3 main ways to utilize the wheel and axle that suit 3 main purposes. We've got the wheel that moves around the axle, which is good for transporting things or yourself. We've got the axle that moves the wheel, which is great for generating speed. And finally, we've got the wheel that moves the axle, which is perfect for generating force. Thank you so much for watching Year 7. I hope that you enjoyed once again. And of course, feel free to come to us for any questions. Have a wonderful day. Bye.